Last time I promised I'd be reviewing something fun, and what's more fun than a Disney cartoon? Disney has had some ups and downs over the years, but for me, nothing beats their shows from the 80s and 90s. The good old Disney afternoon lineup has been talked about a lot, but I think some of the earlier shows get overlooked. I still think Gummy Bears is a great fantasy show, and The Wuzzles is, well, The Wuzzles. But today we're talking about something that kinda slipped through the cracks. Fluppy Dogs was an animated TV special that aired in 1986, intending to be a pilot for a potential series. It was based on a toy line of the same name released by Kenner. Though there really wasn't much to the toys. They were just plush dogs with yarn for hair, and they were pretty big, so they were hard to display. So once again, I have nothing to put on the shelf. Seems to be a problem I've been having lately. Now, because the toys weren't much more than plush dogs, they obviously had to take some liberties adapting them to a cartoon. Well, you know what that means, it could be hit or miss. So let's just jump right in and find out which one it is. Here's Fluppy Dogs. So the special opens with the Fluppies traveling through what I can only assume is the mountains of Middle-earth. And you can already see the changes made. The dogs are more anthropomorphized on top of having different names. The toys had names like Cool Flup and Fancy Flup, but here they have regular names like Stanley, Tippy, Ozzy, and the twins Bink and Dink. They also speak and are voiced by some well-known voice actors, such as Susan Blue, who voices Tippy.
This is beautiful, but it's not home.
The voice of Garfield himself, Lorenzo Music, voices Ozzy.
I found another door! Quick, Stanley, the key!
And the main Fluppy, Stanley, is voiced by Marshall Efron.
We'll be out soon, right on me!
Hey, it's like a Twice Upon a Time reunion. Boy, remember when I reviewed that? And we also find out they're interdimensional travelers trying to find their way home. Ozzy sniffs out where a door to another world is, and they unlock it with a magic key.
This is beautiful, but it's not home.
I think we're in the world of the Wuzzles. We better get out of here. Disney's not ready to do crossovers yet. What was that? Ozzy finds another door, and it opens to a grocery store in the human world, leading to a lot of chaos.
Door.
Geez, guys, way to be discreet. During the mayhem, the Fluppies catch the attention of bootleg J. Jonah Jameson here.
If they give us trouble, buy them out.
And I want pictures of Spider-Man on my desk in the morning! I don't care if he's not part of Disney yet, no excuses!
This way!
That dog talked.
Talking dogs? I can monetize this!
That dog talked!
This is like the time I saw that frog! It was singing and dancing, I tell you! Why won't anyone believe me?
You're letting them get away!
They didn't steal a camera.
Let go, you idiot, or I'll have your bag!
Know your place, peasant. We billionaire oligarchs run this country. Apparently the Fluppies ended up in the worst version of America.
J.J. Wagstaff. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know. Here, let me brush you off.
Wait, his name is J.J. Wagstaff? I was joking about that J. Jonah Jameson comment. The Fluppies get away, but are soon picked up by the dog catchers and get thrown into a kennel.
And you understand me.
They're primitive, Stanley. They don't even wear clothes.
Wow, this must be like Planet of the Apes for them. Hey, speaking of which, why does it smell like dog in here? Then a lady comes in looking to get a dog for her son, and Stanley gets himself picked so he can come back later and free the others. We then learn that Wagstaff is a collector of rare animals, which he keeps in cages in his office. You know, like an asshole. He must be related to Elmira from Tiny Toons. And it turns out that there's record of the Fluppies having been in this world before, so he wants to catch them for himself.
The world's finest collection of exotic animals. And now, Fluppies!
He sounds like some kind of crazed toy collector. Hey, you ever get the feeling like you're being watched? So the woman's son, Jamie, comes home to meet his new dog.
What's this?
It's the dog you wanted.
Oh, sure, Mom. He's great. Oh. Guess I had something a little bigger in mind.
Jeez, kid, you got a free dog. I mean, I like big dogs too, but don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Also, that box is tiny. What was he expecting to come out, a Great Dane? Well, things improve a bit after Jamie gets into trouble and Stanley reveals his true nature to help him out.
Hungry?
How can you eat this stuff?
I don't. It's dog food.
Do I look like a dog to you? Actually, don't answer that.
Try this. We call it pizza.
Jamie, you can't feed a dog pizza.
Yeah, I know a few dogs that would disagree with you, lady. They go to the kennel, but Jamie can only afford to get Tippy out, and they just let him take her, I guess. So they bring her to Jamie's neighbor Claire.
She's adorable. She's for me? I can have her?
See, that's how you accept a dog, you little ingrate. While that's happening, Wagstaff tries to get into the pound to get the rest of the Fluppies.
Closed. Not with my Fluppies inside. Hello? Get me the mayor.
That lousy Crumb. He owes me one.
Stanley, why don't your friends tell him that they're Fluppies? That would get him out.
People would think we're freaks.
Jamie took to it pretty well. This whole thing just seems kind of foolish.
Why'd you ever leave home, Stanley?
Adventure, of course. Although I usually get excited and we all wind up in a lot of trouble.
Sure, we almost got killed a few times, but adventure! Maybe I've been working too hard. Later that night, it's revealed the Fluppies have another power. When a human gives them a good boy scratch on the head, their magical dandruff comes off and makes things fly.
Stanley! Wake up!
We're floating!
Now I just want to see them crash into little Nemo flying on his bed from the opposite direction.
Tippy! Tippy! Oh. Tippy, is that you?
I think so.
Yeah, Claire's into something called punk rock, and then she gave me this haircut.
If I had only known sooner that you wanted the pound open.
I appreciate your help, Mr. Mayor.
Well, with everything you've done for this town, it's the least I can do. What is it you do again? So they go to the kennel to free the others, but Wagstaff almost catches them.
Are they here, Mr. Wagstaff?
They flew away on a bed.
The dogs?
Oh, look for yourself.
Mr. Wagstaff, are you feeling all right?
Poor guy's got Fluppy fever. I've seen this before. Better get the rubber room ready. So while the Fluppies have been reunited, they still need Jamie's help finding their way home.
I found a doorway, but we don't know how to get to it.
Will you help us? We need you, Jamie. I can't leave school.
Adventure, Jamie.
Is this where Rick and Morty got some of its ideas from? They search for the portal that'll lead them home, but it eludes them, and they keep getting into more shenanigans.
I'm gonna need some help opening this. I have to try again later.
Okay, that was funny. Unfortunately, their big friend freaks out and runs around the house wrecking everything.
I'm doomed. Take me to another world, Stanley. Please. Any other world. I can't face Mom.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad. Stuff is just kind of knocked over. This is an easy fix with the right montage music. But Jamie is still having trouble explaining things to his mom, and she notices that he's been acting kind of weird.
I'll do the laundry.
You? I'm in no mood for jokes. Why do you suddenly unpack my groceries and want to do laundry?
You're actually being helpful for once? What are you hiding? Later that night, Ozzy finds another door, and it just so happens to be the door that leads to their home. It causes a bright light which illuminates the town, and apparently Wagstaff is the only one who notices. He heads over and nabs Ozzy, but unfortunately Jamie gets in trouble and can't do anything to help.
Now what?
Just getting something to snack on while I do my homework.
Carrots, lettuce, you? Now I know you're up to something.
First you help me with the groceries, and then you help me with the laundry, and now I catch you eating healthy? When did you become such a delinquent? Fortunately, Claire takes over, but Jamie thinks she'll need his help, so he mounts up and clumsily heads out. Hi-ho, comic relief, away! Unfortunately, Stanley and Tippy also get caught.
3 of them. I have 3 Fluppies. You may be intelligent, but J.J. Wagstaff is smarter than all of you together.
Well, that's just a pathetic display. What a loser. The others break in and cause more mayhem, but they get caught as well. Fortunately, Wagstaff doesn't know about the Fluppies' other power. Got what he deserved. They crashed the house right where the door was and somehow survived. They reopen it, and after an emotional goodbye, the Fluppies go through.
No, don't close that.
I'm just going to assume they either froze to death or starved to death. What is going on today? I'm gonna miss them. Hey, how are we gonna explain the wrecked house and the exotic animals running around to the cops? Some time passes and Jamie and Claire start to miss their new friends.
It sure is.
Ah, come on, we're too marketable to stay away. And we're gonna go on a lot of adventures. Definitely.
Stanley, who are they? What are they here for?
Oh god, it's an invasion! Someone alert the Pentagon! Well, that was the Fluffy Dogs, and it's kind of a shame what happened to that cartoon. It's clear that they wanted this to become a thing, but unfortunately, much like real dogs, the Fluppies had a very short lifespan. I don't think I ever saw anybody with the toys, and I barely even remember they existed. Apparently there was going to be more released, but they got cancelled, so I guess they didn't sell very well. On top of that, the pilot did not do well in the ratings, probably because it aired on November 27th, 1986, which was Thanksgiving, so there weren't many viewers. Most people on Thanksgiving are either eating or traveling, so not really sitting around watching TV. Though I find it funny this is actually listed as a Thanksgiving special on Wikipedia when it actually has nothing to do with the holiday. I did have a recording of this special when it first aired, and I watched it closer to Christmas, so personally I associate it more with that. And then there's the biggest, most obvious problem, and that is how the cartoon has almost nothing to do with the toys. It's so far removed it might as well just be its own thing. I mean, in the 80s the cartoon was intended to sell the toys, right? But when your cartoon looks like this, and the toys look like this, it's gonna cause some confusion. Now with all that being said, the question remains, did this cartoon deserve better? And yeah, I think it did. The animation is really good. It was done by TMS, who also did the other Disney shows at the time. As usual, they did fantastic work. The character designs are appealing, even the changes made to the Fluppies. I also really liked some of the voice acting, specifically Wagstaff when he went over the top. And while the toys were clearly marketed towards girls, they made the cartoon be more for a general audience, which I think was a good call. The characters were surprisingly interesting as well. It's pretty clear that Jamie's mom is a single parent who's just trying to keep her son happy, but might not be spending enough time with him. Hence why she bought him a dog. I guess one of the downsides is Jamie got a little bit whiny at times, but he did come through at the end, so it wasn't too bad. Jamie also said that Claire hates him, but I never really got that vibe from her. She just kinda teased him a bit, but it never really came off as mean-spirited. So maybe he's just socially awkward or just shy around girls or something. There was certainly a lot to work with had this become a show. And despite having little to do with the toys, I certainly can't say this pilot wasn't creative. If I was tasked with adapting this, I gotta admit, dimension-traveling dogs would probably not be the first thing I would think of. But it's a good premise for a show. After all, introducing interdimensional travel opens up the possibilities for all kinds of crazy things to happen. Sadly, the pilot only aired once and has never seen any type of official release, so it kind of fell into obscurity. You can find copies uploaded to YouTube, but the quality of both video and audio varies. I'm using the best version I could find, and even that has some issues. So we really haven't seen anything from the Fluppies since. However, they did make a brief cameo appearance in the 2017 DuckTales reboot. They were seen in the episode Let's Get Dangerous, which was about interdimensional travel. So it's nice to know that somebody at Disney does remember them. It truly is a shame what happened to the Fluppies. I enjoyed the pilot more than I thought I would, and had things worked out better, I think it could have made for a fun little series. But unfortunately, it never happened. At least, not in our dimension. Well, hopefully this video comes out in a timely manner. Thank you very much for watching. Now if you excuse me, I gotta go have a look around. Something weird's been happening.
Attention!